Well, the weekend has come to an end, but we do not end things here. So today, I first want to apologize to everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't do Collision this past Saturday due to the fact there was, in case anybody asks, I went to see the Michael Jackson film. In case anybody asks, good movie. But anyway, so as you know, in Collision, we are on the road to Double or Nothing. So a lot of things are taking place. We do see, of course, the conglomeration in action. We do see, of course, Sky Blue in action. Hook taking on Kevin Knight for the TNT Championship, and various other matches as well. So we're going to see how things roll. And then, of course, we move on with night one of Wrestling Dontaku, of course, featuring, of course, many matches. We do have, of course, the Never Openweight Championship on the line. Ren Narita faces off against Boltin Oleg. So we'll see how things roll because we know how the House of Losers operate. And then, of course, we have the IWGP Global Championship. Andrade Idolo issued this challenge against Tsuji. So we'll see how things will play out as well for that too. And then, of course, to wrap up our episode, we have some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information is unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do some real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got through Nagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us and click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough of the jibber jabbers, let's get started. So, let's begin, of course, with AEW Collision. Alright, AEW Collision, as you know, this happened this past Saturday. We opened up with 10-man tag team action, of course. First up, we have the Death Riders, consistent of Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Jon Moxley. They team up with the Dogs, consisting of Clark Connors and David Finlay. They take on the combined forces of Top Flight, Dante, and Darius Martin, and they team up with the Rascals, Byron Reed, Desmond Xavier, and of course Zachary Wentz. Now, of course, seeing the Rascals in Top Flight, you know there's going to be a lot of high spots because these guys are amazing high flyers and they can do a pretty good job. But when it comes to guys who are attempt to keep your opponents on the ground, that's what the Dogs are all about. I mean, you can tell that the Top Flight and the Rascals took a beating from these guys. Unfortunately, Darius was the one who fell victim into Pac when he applies the Brutalizer, and just like that, it was over. Now, the Jurassic Express bus was on the move, as you know. Apparently, Jack Perry was doing the AEW National Championship tour, and he said a bad word in front of the camera guy, and of course, well, they didn't care, so they just dropped the cameraman wherever in the middle of nowhere, and they just took off. And that's where we jump into the match itself. Of course, Jungle Jack Perry defends the title against Máscara Dorada, which of course was going to be impressive because we know Máscara Dorada, he's also an amazing high flyer. We know that what he's capable of, and I think he is the welterweight champion in CML. I'm not 100% sure, but yes, something like that. But unfortunately, he was taken out by Jack Perry when he took him out with a knee strike, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, it appears that, of course, Renee this past Wednesday had a talk with Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida over the loss of not winning the AEW World Tag Team belts. Well, Shida was willing to take responsibility for what happened, but I don't know exactly what goes on with Chris Statlander in her head, so we'll see about that. Our next match is a non-title match, of course. It's a conglomeration: Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly taking on MXM TV, consistent of Mansoor, Mason Madden, and Johnny TV. Now, of course, you know there's going to be a moment where Orange Cassidy will do the pose with Mason and Mansoor. That never gets old. But however, of course, one thing that was funny, Kyle O'Reilly did all the work when he took out both Mansoor and Mason, and it was so impressive. But however, it was an elbow strike by, of course, Orange Cassidy onto Johnny TV, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. Now, we did see what Tony Schiavone did. I thought it was a very a beautiful thing for him to do. As you all know, Rebel, or as we know, Tanea heel, or what, I don't know. But anyway, Rebel, as you know, we've been hearing recently that her health has been getting a bit worse, and prayers are being sent to her that hopefully she'll be okay, and hopefully she will, she's a strong person. I mean, it's sad what's going on with her, not gonna lie. I mean, none of us probably would expect that, but it did. So, prayers for you, Rebel. Now, moving on. The TBS Championship is on the line. Anna Jay, who we haven't seen since November. As you all know, I mentioned about her, about the recent news updates about her. She takes on Willow Nightingale. I thought the match was pretty good. Anna Jay did a fantastic job. I mean, she did hold her own, but you cannot count out Willow Nightingale with her star power, what she can do. She was able to defeat Anna Jay with the Dr. Bomb, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, adios. Now, we did see another interview, but this time with Lexi Neer talking to Shida and Statlander. Well, apparently they are still aiming for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. But the real question is, what does Divine Dominion think? Well, later on we did see an interview with them, and they're like, we beat you guys like it was nothing. And, she feels like no one can match up to them. And, we can agree on that. We've seen tag teams in that type of scenario, in the men's mostly. But when it comes to women, we're seeing in that scenario. But we'll see. Now, we did see, we have, of course, the other members of Death Riders, Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta, taking on the Bang Bang Gang, Ace Austin and Juice Robinson. The match was pretty good, and not to mention Marina got involved, trying to make sure this match goes in the Death Rider situation. But oops, Daniel Garcia took out, Yuta took out, of course, Marina, thank you, but it was the Juices loose onto Yuta that put away the whole thing. But however, as you know, Juice Robinson still has fair issues towards Moxley, as you all know, because they never forget certain things. If you guys remember, when Moxley made his way to New Japan, he targeted Juice Robinson for the IWGP United States Championship, and now he wants him for that, I'm pretty sure. But of course, there was a beatdown coming in to both Austin and Juice. But however, the Colton and Austin Gunn, they came back, so it seems now they're making things a lot more interesting for everyone. So I can't wait to see how that turns out. Now, our next match, we have Sky Blue versus Nixie and NS. Well, this one was over before it even began. We did see Sky Blue apply a new submission move that Tony Schiavone said that it's called Descent in Madness, which, of course, is like a submission move that will make you scream like hell. And just like that, it was over. Tap out. Now, our main event is the TNT Championship Hook taking on Kevin Knight, and this was going to be awesome. But not to mention, we know that Shibata was going to be there for obvious reasons. For those who don't know, Shibata was the one who trained Kevin Knight, so I'm sure his input would play out pretty well for, of course, Hook. But of course, he was going to get involved, but he got taken out by Kevin Knight. But it took only Kevin Knight to apply the UFO splash, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he retained the championship. So we'll see what happens next time, this coming Wednesday, with, of course, Kevin Knight. But until then, let's move on to our next review, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestling Dontaku. Okay, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestling Dontaku 2026. This is their much recent show. This is day one, in case anybody asked, and this was at the Fukuoka Convention Center, of course. We opened up with Tyson Nakahara teaming up with Ryusuke Taguchi and Tiger Mask. They take on Toru Yano, Master Wato, and Yo. Now, of course, when it comes to each individuality, what they do, Yano being Yano, trying to do his usual tricks, and of course, Master Wato being more disciplined, and Yo, does whatever he wants, trying to impersonate people. Well, that's how it turns. But it was Wato who picked up the win by pinning Nakahara, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Next up, we have Masatora Yoshida teaming up with Tomoaki Hamna. They take on the Knockout Brothers. Now, Hamna has been aiming for the IWGP tag team belts, but however, he's unsuccessful so far, whatever tag team partners he can find. First, it was with his fellow GBH tag team partner, Togi Makabe, failed. Then Yano, who was a former member of the great GBH, also failed. But he thought maybe a young line would be suitable. Well, I have to say he might have been good, but not enough, because apparently he got knocked down by, of course, by Yuto Ice, and just like that, it was a KO, so it was completely over. Now, our next match is a very interesting one. El Desperado teamed up with Mystico, and they team up in an 8-man tag team match with, of course, Taichi and Yuji Uemura. Now, of course, it's no secret that El Desperado and Taichi, former members of Suzuki Gun, will run into each other. They take on the members of TMDK, more consistently Hartley Jackson, Rohei Oiwa, and our current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Kose Fujita, and Robbie Eagles. Now, obviously, this was going to be impressive. I'm sure when it comes to Mystico, anybody will want to take him out, because he is like a trophy that you want to say, yes, I defeated him. But unfortunately, it did not happen, because it was Uemura who applied a Frankensteiner onto Harley Jackson, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, during the post-match promo, Mystico, as you know, made it clear that he and El Desperado, a man that he truly highly respects as one of the best junior heavyweight competitors, well, he wants a shot of the IWGP junior heavyweight tag team belts. And of course, they say they do it the next day, and we'll probably review that. Now, our next match is a bit of a warm-up before the next day, of course. Members of the United Empire, Great-O-Khan, Henara, and Will Ospreay, they take on the Goto Revolution Army, consisting of Tatsuya Matsumoto, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto. Now remember, Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, they are 2/3 of the never openweight 6-man tag team champions with Boltin Oleg. However, Boltin Oleg is occupied with another match. This was a match that was requested by Will Ospreay, and that's exactly what's going to get, but that's until the next day, and you probably can tell this match was going to be brutalized. However, Great Khan decided to smash the brains of Matsumoto, to show his killer instinct style, and of course, it was completely over right from there. And of course, uh, some difficulties from Will Ospreay. He did not like what was going on, but he did left. I'm not gonna lie about that. Now, our next match, we have the other members of the House of Losers, of course, Yujiro Takahashi and Chase Owens. Now, remember, this is a preliminary match. Shota Umino and Konosuke Takeshita. Now, Takeshita is the current New Japan World Television Champion, and of course, Chase Owens is aiming for this belt, and that's exactly what he tried to do. But the real question is, how will Shota Umino and Takeshita get along? They seem like they did. I mean, they did get along great. There were probably some mishaps, of course, but that didn't stop anything. It was, of course, Umino with the final chapter, the second chapter onto Yujiro, and 1, 2, 3, done. Now, our next match is the Unbound, consistent of Daiki Nagai, Robbie X, Taiji Shimori, Drilla Maloney, and Shingo Takagi taking on the United Empire, consisting of Zane J, Jacob Austin Young, Francisco Kara, Jake Lee, and Cal Newman. Now, this is a prelim for the IWGP World, the Heavyweight Championship that will happen the following day between Newman and Shingo. And it was a pretty good match. We did see some great moments with the guy who's really, really picking up the pace, trying to build up, himself a lot, and I thought it was very impressive by him. But in fact, it was Maloney that picked up the win with the Driller Killer onto Zane J, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our next match, we have Don Fale of the House of Losers taking on Aaron Wolf. Now, of course, Aaron Wolf had dealt with Don Fale on multiple occasions whenever, the House of Losers show up. And not to mention, we knew Chase Owens was going to show up because those guys are very tight. And not to mention, whenever Fale can't get the job done, he calls his loser brothers to help him out. And apparently that didn't do any well. We did see, of course, an angle slam by Aaron Wolf onto Don Fale, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. Now, our next match, which is a semi-main event, is the Never Openweight Championship. Bolted Oleg looking for another title to be in there, takes on Ren Narita. But of course, like any typical House of Loser tactic, they attacked him before the bell rang, and not to mention effing Dick Togo gets involved too. That's what we also know. I mean, they were going to do various ways to dismantle him, but however, that came into, of course, when Ren Narita tried to dismantle the arm of Bolton Oleg, and then, of course, we did see a low blow by Dick Togo onto him, and then, of course, the cross arm by Ren Narita, and just like that, he retained the title. But however, they try to beat down Bolton Oleg, but thank God for Aaron Wolf, who showed up, and I'm going to presume that he wants another opportunity of the Never Openweight Championship, so we'll see what happens until then. Our next match is the main event, the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Andrade El Idolo takes on Yoritsuji. I thought this match was crazy. I mean, they went to their limits on this one. I mean, I wasn't too sure where this was going to be. But however, Andrade was able to pick up the win when he applied the DM on Yoritsuji, and just like that, it was over. But however, we did see two competitors that want to have a title shot, Drilla Maloney and Shota Umino. So Andrade says, I'll take both of you on at the same time. Now, I'm not sure if that's wise, but he's willing to go for it. Now, there's an exclusive video that happened in backstage. Yoritsuji once again was attacked by Gabe Kidd, who's declaring war against New Japan, and he's calling out Tony Khan, saying, what do we do about this? Like, he's asking Tony Khan, we should invade New Japan. But I highly doubt that's what, of course, Tony Khan is going to do, but we'll see where that leads to. But for right now, we are done with all the reviews, and let's move on with our last thing to wrap up this episode, some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin with upcoming events, starting with GCW. As you know, on May 15th, they'll be in Detroit for a Guilty Conscience, and they just announced Vipress will take on Allison Kay. And then, of course, we have the Tournament of Survival 11, I believe, and they just announced another participant, number 9, which is Little Sicko. And according to the information, this is now his second appearance into this event. Wrestling Revolver has announced that they'll be making their first time appearance in Nashville, Tennessee on July 24th. Um, they haven't mentioned exactly who's going to be participating or the name of the title of the event, but we'll get to that. Now, as you all know, recently I made an update on Kitsune Women's Wrestling, which is a promotion based out of here. More names have been added for the upcoming event on the 26th of July in Carson, California. We have, of course, Andre Diamond making her debut. Nina, Miku Alana, Lady Pink, Lex Gonzalez also making her debut. And Zyra. And then finally, of course, the serving as Master of Ceremony and Tokyo Pro Wrestling's very favorite ring announcer, Sayuri Namba. And I'm really disappointed, wishing I could go, because I like Sayuri Namba. You know, she's really amazing as a ring announcer. So if anybody from the LA area and any of my subscribers want to go and check her out, go. So that's pretty much it for upcoming events. Now we do have some developments here. First one, we want to give congratulations to Marko Stunt. As you know, he just came out, started wrestling again. He is now the new Gladiator Championship Wrestling Cruiserweight Champion. So yeah, so he finally got his first title match and won. Tokyo Pro Wrestling has announced a brand new trainee named Momo Sato. Now, according to the information, Momo's brother is currently in DDT named Daichi Sato. So, not much about them. I haven't been watching DDT for a long time, but yes, it's great news to hear. The two siblings are now in the same industry, but working in the same kind of structure. Because, as you know, DDT and DDT and Tokyo Pro Wrestling are part of the same ownership. Now, moving on, Mike Bailey recently had an interview, and he had this to say about, of course, his 5-year ban. Something we did not know, and I think we all want to hear it. And this was on the MMM show. I know that I know for me that after the pandemic, when my 5-year ban from the U.S. had ended, I made that quite public that I got an offer to go to NXT, which I accepted. And it didn't work out because of they changed their hiring guidelines or whatever. But I accepted the offer to go to NXT. I knew that it wasn't AEW where people get to be themselves, and I made peace with that fact that they might decide that I need to go be someone else, that I need to be something else, that Speedball Mike Bailey is not what they need. And I knew that in being an excellent professional wrestler, no matter the situation in which they put me, I was gonna kill it. I'm gonna use the skill of pro wrestling and that I have accumulated over the years to be the best in whatever situation they put us in. And mentally, that's where Jet Speed carried through AEW. We're confident, we know we're good. Let Jet, the Jet is too fly and knows it. And I know that I have 20 years of accumulated knowledge in professional wrestling. I have us to do anything, and we kill it. So basically, he made peace with everything. Of course, he knew that there was going to be changes if he did went to NXT. Obviously, it's something that we know. But yeah, I'm glad that he made that clear for all of us. Now, he did mention on the same interview about mixed conceptions towards, of course, Tony Khan and all that, and about his booking. So this is what he said. I know Tony Khan is an incredible, smart person. He knows what he's doing. I have talked to him. I've listened to him in interviews. AEW is a challenger brand, and I think a lot of criticism that people have for AEW is that, oh, they're doing things differently than what I'm used to seeing on TV, and it boils down to that, and a lot of it just I think the other guys would have done this, so AW should do this, which is wrong. They have a different, and it's still pro wrestling show, but they have to find a different segment of audience. Of course, he's not wrong about that. All Elite Wrestling is where the best wrestle. It's not a sports entertainment. It's about pro wrestling because pro wrestling is great. The reason the company came to be because there's a hole in the market, right? There were a lot at the time that AEW was founded of unsigned independent world traveling professional wrestlers that have the ability to put on a fantastic show no matter the context, no matter the place, no matter the audience, that they sent the audience home happy with exactly what they wanted, and that's what AEW is founded on. It's founded on great pro wrestling, and that's what they're offering. I know that art is subjective. People will like or dislike what whoever they want, but pro wrestling is a skill. It and you can be objectively good or bad at the skill. And what you need in order to thrive in AEW is to be the best at the skill of professional wrestling, which sounds incredibly uh, simplistic, but it's a lot of complicated when you go deeper. So so people like to say that AEW shouldn't be doing this, AEW are doing that. I mean, I get it because people did not like what happened with Swerve getting a needle in his mouth. The same thing with MJF, but we can't do what WWE are doing. We have to try something different. That's what they're saying. But you have to be good at it. What you can do, and I think that's important, and I get that. Now, Paul Wight, many of you know him as Big Show, had something to say. He did an interview recently on the TEI Unplugged, talking about his role in AEW, helping some young talent. Notes getting in the ring with them, and this is what he said: "I don't have much at this stage of the game. I'm not competing for championships, but I'm not pulling the wagon working every week. I have a great opportunity with All Elite, which was very important to me to be able to help mentor some of the younger talent when they want. They tell me some stories to help them avoid some troubles in life, due to the commenting where I can help, explain that they are doing and help develop their character, and they get in the ring because they are things that I can do in the ring working with them and that I know will help them. It's fun for me because I don't have to do much. I show up once in a while, everybody's happy, I come over, get nice little pop from the crowd. Oh, we remember him back when he last long hair and a bright future. We're glad to he's still doing well." So yeah, it's great that he's helping out the young talent. I mean, that's a thing that we need from some wrestlers who are in fact know they can't wrestle that much, but they are doing everything they can. Now, AJ Styles was on the PR podcast. He talked about, of course, when he heard about Kairi Sane was released, and that kind of caught him off guard. And this is what he said: "I think everybody's a little confused. Asuka and her tag partner then just kind of, we don't know exactly what the case is. That one caught me off guard as well because it was a great tag team thing. I feel like Kyrie was doing her best work as of now. I wish I had answers. I don't have these answers for you guys. I don't know what this means for her. Is she done wrestling? Is she going back to Stardom? What's next for Kairi Sane? But I know she was loved and she was an amazing. And yeah, I just hate that." So yeah, I mean, if he really like enjoyed being Kairi, it makes sense because thing is this: we know how incredible she is. We know what she can do in the ring, and it's really kind of messed up that happened. Of course, that sort of thing. I'm just don't know. Now, uh, what else? Oh yeah, okay. Now we got this thing. You may have heard about what's his name? Uh, Shawn Michaels just sent Drake Devereaux, I think that's his name, or Monroe. Hold on. Yeah, Monroe into AAA. Apparently, he's moved from Florida to Mexico, and that's what it is. And this is what he said: "We've been here for you've been here for many years now, almost 3. And look, of this coaches, everybody here speaks extremely highly of you. The reality is, though, after a certain amount of time, we have make a decision. How about you uh, much more time and invest that we can put into somebody before they started to get this. So, which said that unfortunately your time here in the PC is going to be over with. The reality is simply that we do not have a place for you right now in NXT. But the other side of the coin, there is a huge opportunity for you in AAA. So basically, they felt like he doesn't have a spot in NXT, which you can say it sucks, but however, when you go to a foreign country, that helps you out to sharpen your skills, and I think that's very important right now. Now, many of you may have heard about what's going on with AEW. Apparently, they may not have a TV deal and all that. I know some people in WWE are like saying, "Ha ha! Finally, they can disappear." Guys, let's be for real. AEW is not going nowhere, and apparently they've been talking about maybe having a YouTube temporarily until another deal can be made. So they're not going nowhere, guys. I know we have people who don't like AEW. I know some people think that, oh, that's not wrestling, that sort of thing. But look, get over it, guys. All right, people have been saying that since they launched that they were gonna disappear. No, they're not. They're not going nowhere, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. So I'll leave things as that is. But as of right now, we're done. Let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode coming up. We probably will continue with more of New Japan with Wrestling Dontaku. I know I'm a bit behind on both Choco Pro and Stardom because, as you know, they've been doing the Golden Week tour. So we'll see how things will go. I might do Choco Pro at another time, but we'll see. But right now, the top priority to me is Wrestling Dontaku Day 2. This one features the main event, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Shingo Takagi makes an attempt against Kyle Newman. So we'll see how that plays out too. So we'll leave things as it is. But as of right now, I'll say this. I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.